California's housing market is crashing, and it's hitting harder than ever before. The Golden State, once the epitome of real estate dreams, is now unraveling at an alarming pace. Soaring home prices, skyrocketing insurance rates, and a shrinking pool of buyers have turned cities once thought to be a safe bet into ticking time bombs for home buyers. From San Francisco to Palm Springs, the market is teetering on the brink. If you think California real estate is still your ticket to prosperity, think again. Buying a home in these cities in 2025 could lead to financial ruin. Let's dive into the top 10 worst cities to buy a home in California. Number 10. Glendale. Glendale, a city once known for its thriving residential market and proximity to Los Angeles, is facing significant housing challenges in 2025. With a median home price now hovering around $950,000, the dream of owning a home in this city is slipping further away from many potential buyers. The median household income, however, remains stagnant at just $85,000, creating a substantial affordability gap. Buyers are now finding themselves having to allocate over 40% of their monthly income just to cover mortgage payments, which can easily exceed $4,000 a month for an average home. Adding fuel to the fire, Glendale's housing market is starting to show signs of the California housing crash. The city has experienced a 25% drop in listing prices over the past 6 months, with homes sitting on the market for longer periods, often 50-plus days compared to just a few months ago when properties would fly off the shelves within a week. The increased interest rates, now hovering around 7%, have made it even more difficult for buyers to afford homes, further compounding the issue. Insurance premiums in Glendale have also skyrocketed, largely due to the wildfire risks in nearby areas. Homeowners are now facing annual premiums of $4,000 to $5,000, with many unable to get coverage at all due to the high-risk zones in the region. The increased insurance costs, combined with high property taxes and maintenance expenses, are making Glendale's housing market increasingly unstable. As a result, the city has seen a surge in outbound migration, with many residents moving to more affordable areas in California or out of state. This outflow is contributing to the stagnation in home sales and further deepening the financial strain on the market. If the trends continue, Glendale could see even steeper price reductions, making it one of the worst cities to invest in for 2025. Number 9. Newport Beach. Newport Beach, long regarded as one of California's most desirable coastal cities, is experiencing significant turbulence in 2025. With a median home price soaring to approximately $2.3 million, the city has become increasingly out of reach for many potential buyers. Despite this, median household income lingers around $130,000, creating a severe affordability gap. Homeowners here are now spending upwards of 40% of their income on monthly mortgage payments, which average around $9,000 for an average-priced home. The housing market crash in Newport Beach is undeniable. Once a hotbed for real estate investment, the city has seen a staggering 30% drop in home prices from their peak in 2021. In the first quarter of 2025, nearly 35% of listings experienced significant price reductions as sellers scrambled to offload properties in a cooling market. Homes are sitting on the market for 60-plus days, a far cry from the competitive environment of just a few years ago, where bidding wars were commonplace. The 7% interest rates have left many buyers unable to afford the high monthly payments that come with these inflated property prices, driving down demand. Additionally, insurance premiums in Newport Beach have jumped 50% in recent years due to rising concerns about coastal erosion, flooding, and wildfire risks in the surrounding hills. This makes it even more difficult for homeowners to afford properties, particularly those in the high-risk zones. As a result, Newport Beach is now seeing a significant reduction in investor interest, as the prospects for long-term returns diminish in the wake of the market slowdown. Despite its glamorous reputation, Newport Beach is now a prime example of how even the most sought-after locations in California are succumbing to the broader housing market crash of 2025. Number 8. Berkeley. Berkeley, once synonymous with innovation and progressive culture, is now grappling with the realities of a collapsing housing market. The median home price in Berkeley has hit an alarming $1.4 million, with the city seeing prices soar to unsustainable levels. However, the median household income remains stagnant at just $95,000, leaving many local families priced out of the housing market entirely. Monthly mortgage payments for the average home now exceed $5,500, which forces buyers to commit more than 50% of their gross income to secure a property. This affordability crisis is further exacerbated by a marked decline in demand, signaling the onset of the California housing crash. Homes that would have once been snapped up in mere days are now sitting on the market for 60 to 70 days. In early 2025, 20% of listings in Berkeley saw price reductions, with some homes experiencing markdowns of up to 15%. These adjustments highlight the strain on the market, as both buyers and sellers struggle to reconcile the high prices with economic realities. The 7% mortgage rates are another factor contributing to the slowdown, pricing out many would-be homeowners. At the same time, insurance premiums in Berkeley are soaring, especially due to wildfire risks in the surrounding hills. Some homeowners are facing insurance hikes of 30% or more, which adds to the already burdensome cost of living. With limited new construction and the city's outbound migration on the rise, Berkeley is experiencing a market correction that shows no signs of reversing. Once a beacon for progressive culture and innovation, Berkeley is now finding itself caught in the crosshairs of California's housing crisis. The city's once booming real estate market is struggling to stay afloat, making it one of the worst places to invest in 2025. Number 7. Burbank. Burbank, known for its proximity to Hollywood and its role as a major entertainment hub, is facing a drastic housing downturn in 2025. The median home price in Burbank has reached an astonishing $1.1 million. But with a median household income of only $90,000, the city is becoming increasingly unaffordable for many would-be buyers. Mortgage payments for an average home are now approaching $4,500 per month, which is simply out of reach for most residents, especially with interest rates still hovering around 7%. In the wake of the housing crash, Burbank's real estate market is slowing dramatically. Homes that would once sell in a matter of days are now languishing on the market for over 50 days, with 28% of listings experiencing price cuts in early 2025. Sellers, once able to demand a top dollar, are now being forced to lower their expectations as demand drops off. This is a clear indication that Burbank is not immune to the broader trend of price corrections in California's once booming housing market. Further compounding the situation are rising insurance premiums, which have soared due to the wildfire risks in nearby foothills. Many homeowners in Burbank are now facing insurance costs of $4,000 to $5,000 annually, adding another financial burden. In addition, property taxes in the city are some of the highest in Los Angeles County, further eroding affordability for homeowners. The outflow of residents from Burbank, coupled with the reduced demand and increased costs, has turned what was once a star-studded real estate market into a crumbling investment for many buyers. In 2025, Burbank is undeniably one of the worst places to buy a home in California, as the housing market crash continues to reshape the city's housing landscape. Number 6. Fresno. Fresno, once considered an affordable alternative to California's coastal cities, is now facing a harsh reality in 2025. Despite being located in the heart of the Central Valley, the median home price has surged to $375,000, a staggering increase from previous years. With a median household income of $55,000, many locals are finding it increasingly difficult to afford homeownership. Mortgage payments now average around $2,000 per month, which forces many buyers to allocate a large portion of their income to housing, pushing affordability to the brink. In 2025, Fresno is showing clear signs of the California housing crash. Listings that once moved quickly are now staying on the market for over 60 days, and over 20% of homes have seen price reductions. The rise in interest rates, currently at about 7%, is making it even harder for buyers to qualify for loans, leading to a further decline in demand. With the Central Valley's housing market cooling down, many sellers are cutting prices just to attract buyers, leading to a significant market correction. Additionally, crime rates in Fresno remain high, especially in certain neighborhoods, causing a decrease in buyer confidence. With rising insurance premiums due to flooding risks and wildfire concerns, homeowners are also facing higher costs, further making it difficult to afford homes. Many families are fleeing to neighboring cities in search of more affordable housing. Fresno's once promising real estate market is now facing a downturn, and the outlook for 2025 suggests that it will remain one of the worst cities to buy a home in California due to the increasing affordability gap, rising interest rates, and reduced demand in the wake of the broader housing crisis. Number 5. Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz, known for its scenic beaches, redwood forests, and vibrant art scene, is no longer the affordable haven it once was. In 2025, the median home price has skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $1.2 million, far outpacing the average household income of just $85,000. This means that potential homeowners are being forced to spend well over 50% of their income on mortgage payments, which now average $5,500 per month for the typical property. For many, this has made buying a home in Santa Cruz an unrealistic dream. The city is facing a housing crash, with over 25% of listings experiencing price reductions as demand falls off a cliff. Homes that once sold in mere days are now sitting for 60-plus days, and investor interest has dried up as the market slows. The 7% interest rates have pushed many buyers out of the market, contributing to a sharp decline in home sales. Additionally, the rising cost of living and wildfire risks are making Santa Cruz a tough place for residents to maintain homeownership. Insurance premiums in Santa Cruz are also skyrocketing. Due to the city's proximity to coastal flood zones and wildfire risks, insurance rates have surged by 40% over the past 2 years. Many homeowners are now paying upwards of $6,000 annually for coverage. These added costs, combined with a cooling housing market, have made Santa Cruz increasingly unaffordable. Once a bohemian paradise, Santa Cruz has become a real estate nightmare, with many residents now forced to leave in search of more affordable housing options. The market's instability and the growing divide between home prices and local incomes make Santa Cruz one of the worst cities to buy a home in California in 2025. Number 4. Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara, often seen as California's coastal paradise, is facing a severe housing crisis in 2025. The median home price in this picturesque city has now reached an eye-watering $1.5 million, making it one of the most expensive markets in the state. With the average household income still hovering around $90,000, buying a home here has become financially impossible for many, with mortgage payments now exceeding $6,000 per month for a typical property. The city is experiencing a housing market crash, with a 60% increase in the number of homes staying on the market for longer than 60 days. Homes that would have once sold quickly are now seeing price cuts, with 30% of properties reducing their asking prices in early 2025. The combination of high interest rates, currently near 7%, and steep home prices has pushed many potential buyers out of the market. This has created a glut of unsold properties and an overinflated market, leading to a price correction. The wildfire risk in Santa Barbara's surrounding hills has also caused insurance premiums to soar. Many homeowners are now paying upwards of $5,000 annually for basic coverage, with some areas seeing rates rise by as much as 50% in recent years. In addition, the city is losing its workforce, as residents, especially those in service industries, are being priced out by escalating housing costs. Between 2022 and 2024, Santa Barbara lost over 8,000 residents, mostly renters and service workers, who can no longer afford to live in the city. Despite its breathtaking beauty and Mediterranean charm, Santa Barbara has become an increasingly unstable and unaffordable market for homebuyers. For 2025, it stands as one of the worst cities to buy a home in California, with rising prices, cooling demand, and escalating risks making it a poor investment choice for many. Number 3. Palm Springs. Palm Springs, once the jewel of the California desert, is now facing a harsh reality in 2025. The median home price has soared to $675,000, a significant increase over the past few years. With the average household income in Palm Springs hovering around $70,000, many residents are struggling to afford the rising costs. Monthly mortgage payments are now approaching $3,000, forcing families to allocate over 40% of their income just to secure a home. For many buyers, this is a financial burden they simply cannot bear. Palm Springs is showing clear signs of the California housing crash, with over 31% of homes seeing price cuts in Q1 of 2025. Properties that once sold in a matter of days are now languishing on the market for 50-plus days, indicating that buyer demand is falling rapidly. The 7% mortgage rates are exacerbating the problem, pricing out many would-be homeowners. Adding to the crisis is Palm Springs' climate risk. The city is experiencing extreme heat waves, with temperatures regularly exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer months. As a result, utility costs are skyrocketing, particularly as air conditioning runs nonstop. In addition, wildfire risks in the surrounding Coachella Valley have caused insurance premiums to rise by nearly 50% in the past 3 years. Many homeowners are now paying $3,000 to $4,000 annually for basic insurance coverage, with some properties being difficult to insure due to the proximity of wildfire zones. Despite its appeal as a resort destination, Palm Springs has become one of the worst cities to buy a home in California in 2025. With rising prices, increasing utility costs, and heightened environmental risks, the market is becoming unsustainable for many prospective homeowners. Number 2. Mendescino. Mendescino, a charming coastal town known for its towering redwoods and rugged cliffs, is in the midst of a housing crisis in 2025. The median home price has hit $650,000, which is a significant jump for this small, rural town. However, with a median household income of just $60,000, many locals are priced out of homeownership. For those trying to purchase a property, monthly mortgage payments can exceed $3,000, which is financially burdensome for most families. The housing crash in Mendescino is in full swing, with 35% of homes seeing price reductions as of early 2025. This is a clear sign that demand is shrinking, and sellers are struggling to offload properties. Homes that once sold quickly are now staying on the market for over 60 days, a stark contrast to the days when properties would sell in a matter of weeks. Interest rates at 7% are also making it more difficult for buyers to qualify for loans, contributing to the slowdown in home sales. Beyond affordability, Mendescino faces several challenges that are driving buyers away. Access to essential services is limited, with residents having to travel long distances for basic needs like healthcare and groceries. The area also struggles with limited broadband access, which has caused remote workers to rethink their relocation plans. Moreover, the town is wildfire-prone, with fire risks increasing every year. Insurance premiums have surged, with some homeowners paying $4,500 or more annually to protect modest properties. In some cases, insurance providers are pulling out altogether, leaving homeowners in financial peril. Mendescino's charm is undeniable, but in 2025, it's one of the worst cities to buy a home in California. With skyrocketing prices, limited amenities, and rising risks, owning property here has become an increasingly difficult and uncertain investment. Number 1. San Francisco. San Francisco, the city that once symbolized the American dream, is now the epicenter of California's housing crisis in 2025. The median home price remains a staggering $1.35 million, despite a significant market downturn. With median household income stagnating around $90,000, this leaves a massive gap for potential homebuyers, who must now spend well over 40% of their income just to afford a mortgage. Monthly payments for a typical home now exceed $6,000, which is financially out of reach for many residents. The housing crash in San Francisco is accelerating. The once thriving real estate market has seen 30% price reductions in the first quarter of 2025 alone. Homes that used to sell in mere days are now sitting on the market for over 60 days. The 7% interest rates are contributing to the slowdown, and buyers are increasingly turning away from San Francisco's sky-high prices. Even luxury homes, which were once seen as a safe investment, are languishing on the market, with some properties going unsold for months. In addition to the cost of living, San Francisco is grappling with property crime, which has escalated in recent years. The city's reputation for safety is deteriorating, further driving potential homeowners away. Insurance premiums are also a major issue, with many residents paying up to $6,000 annually for basic coverage due to the city's earthquake and fire risks. Some areas have seen insurance companies pull out completely, making it even more difficult for homeowners to secure coverage. As residents flee the city, over 50,000 people have left since 2021. San Francisco's real estate market is in a free fall. Once a hub for tech professionals and dreamers alike, San Francisco is now facing a housing market collapse, making it one of the worst cities to buy a home in California in 2025.